Welcome, everybody, to the On the Run podcast, episode 19? 19. We've been doing this
He's
for
finally
19
legal.
weeks.
Your episodes are legal, and you have an extra year for buffer there, so people don't look at you all crappy.
There it
Can
is.
we just start out the gate? I
Yes.
didn't even get to say my name yet. Well, everybody, I'd like to welcome to the On the Run podcast the lead singer from the amazing band Saint Diablo, Puerto Rico, USA, my man Tito.
What up,
Our
bros?
special guest for this podcast episode.
What's up, man?
Bros?
I am Awesome Ray. As most of you know, I am also in Saint Diablo. So this is pretty cool, man. This is our first time doing this. So
Yeah.
and
You're popping my on the run cherry.
has it been a minute yet?
Have mercy on my hymen.
Well, you guys know how this episode's gonna go. All right. And then of course, as always, we got
The Javen Shepherd. You already know what it is, baby. Yes.
I'll lose my job.
Oh, maybe.
Years ago I tried to go the division director of loss prevention for Ross, and they were like, you don't meet our qualifications. And I was like, I exceed them. Like, what are you talking about? Like, are you serious? And then I go into Ross to get some stuff, and I see the level of security that they have at Ross, and I'm like, okay. Dude's wearing plate carriers that say security with no plates in them and shit.
Nice.
It's like, okay.
I used to do secret shopper undercover loss prevention and apprehensions stuff for Target, Walmart. Dude, I loved that chapter of my life. I mean, and when I was doing it, it was the wild west. I mean, like we would handcuff people, no handcuff certification, no nothing. We'd be handcuffing people's right hands to their left ankles and leaving them doing a little crab dance on the ground until the cops got there. And the cops would just laugh their asses off with these guys that are like weirdly pinned down. But like it was the best one of the best chapters of my life, because I was like in college. My band was opening up for everyone that I was listening to on the radio. We got to play with Busta Rhymes. That it was a big time. It was I really thought that I was gonna make something special in my life. but like it was a really good time, and when I couldn't think about it, the whole working undercover and making my own hours and catching shoplifters, I was really like in one of them manifest your own reality type vibes. I was not accepting anything outside. Anything that was cookie cutter was just like exit the stress. Yeah. So that chapter of my life was really interesting.
Well, that brings up a good thing. So I think we could create a new segment here. What was your gig before like music became like a serious full-time thing? So I would ask that to you, Javen.
Before music became full-time, well, a couple of different things, but the place where I spent most of my time was in vet med. Year and some change as a receptionist, and then over 7 years as a radiology tech. So that's what I did. I've done other things too, but that's what I did. Worked with the animals, cats and dogs, so small animal medicine, and it was pretty cool. I had a lot of responsibility, and I was essentially a go-to person, if you will. It was a good time. Wasn't what I wanted to do.
Right.
If you'd have told me when I graduated that I would spend a majority of my work life in vet med, I would have laughed at you.
Yeah, I didn't see you as an
but here
animal
we are.
person in high school.
Yeah, it was. It kind of just happened, bro. When I got picked up by the owner's wife at the time from my job at Land's End and Sears. I mean, yeah, no, like for real. Like in a way, she came in and I helped her, and she enjoyed my customer service so much she low key offered me a job.
Yeah.
Like so, she really like poached me from Land's End over to her spot with promise of better money and pretty girls. I was 19 at the time, so I was like, that's all I need. You feel what
and
I'm
all the
saying? So
and all the animal drugs you can do.
no. That was a fun time
Yeah.
in my life. I learned a lot, experienced a lot. It was a good time. It was a good time. Well, what
I
about you? What about you?
I I'll say this. Almost every job that I've had in my adult life before I got really, really, really serious about music was a high stress job. Except for, believe it or not, this is gonna sound wild, but the jobs that I worked around kids were actually the lower stress jobs. You know, working for the county and the community center, doing the after school programs and stuff, and
Hmm.
then working at the laser tag spot. Those were actually low stress. Those were fun for me 'cause I love kids. Um, but all the other ones, man, high stress AF, bro. Like AF, the fire department, for those that don't know, as a firefighter, definitely high stress. But I will say it taught me how to manage that stress. You know what I mean? They taught me how to be in a stressful environment and be comfortable with the stress. Um, I miss that a lot more than anything else, bro. I miss like the fire department. Like I would absolutely go back 100%, like if I could. Um,
And also the racism.
the race, yeah, the racism sucked. That was definitely a thing. It's crazy when it's your
Ooh,
own race too. That I did not
Yo,
have experience with that
bro.
until I came over to a very familiar department that I see on a regular basis now, and it's just like, bro, you my brother. What are you doing? I'm like, nah, dog.
Like, nah, no, you ain't. It's like,
Yeah, I'm just
whoa,
like,
okay.
wow, and bumped into somebody that I hadn't seen in probably a solid 8 or 9 years, and they were the same asshole in front of everybody, and I was like, damn, you're still a dick. Like, okay, but yeah,
I
man,
used to be a
Turn that off.
firefighter too.
yeah, that's right, you were, and where was that at?
That
If
was
you're comfortable with,
Fredericksburg, Spotsylvania area engine truck company 5 and 6, Chancellorville.
Nice.
Um, I loved it up until I realized that I was partaking in a joke that I didn't realize I was the heel of.
mm-hmm,
We were,
Mm,
I think I might have told you this story, but let me share it with your audience to just to be like the heartbreak. Even nowadays when I think about it, I like still want to cringe. Like we have duty crew jackets with your names on them, right? And most of
yep,
the times you don't put your real name on it. If anything, you like put your last name, but really it's like the duty crew. You put your duty crew name on there.
mm-hmm,
If your name just happens to be whatever, like mine was Spigot because I was the one that attached the hoses and I was
wow.
like running the trucks back and forth.
Wow.
Yeah, see, you got it right. You got it real quick, right?
Wow.
And like
I,
my eager wanting to be part of the
Jesus.
superheroes club went and paid for my own duty crew shirt. And I put my own little nickname on it, and I became the heel of the joke for everyone that was in the crew. And they were like, "Look at this guy; he doesn't even know he's the joke." And I felt stupid not realizing it. I was like, I did think it was a little uncannily close to something that should have not been. But at the same time, I mean, we was training together. We was fighting fires together. We
yeah.
was. You
And
think
when
your
you're not in the
friend?
room, they talk shit about you bad.
Yeah, I mean, and I was like, wait a minute. I
Crazy.
thought I was. I guess it was one of those moments where like I was still young. I was in community college because I was learning how to learn because I didn't learn how to learn in high school. So I was like, I mean, I don't want to even say that I was like eager to fit in, but at the same time, like you just buy into
A brotherhood.
structures and brotherhood, and you buy into like these facades of kinship that just really aren't there unless you're really part of the club. And
Right.
I just wasn't part of the club.
The hardest part about it was the people that you work with.
Hell yeah. I mean they never made a song called, Duck the Firefighters.
So yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it's interesting, man. It's interesting, but cool,
Yeah.
man, cool. Well, let's get into it since we're on a bit of a time limit tonight. Um, on the run. So this is our segment. As always, somebody that's kicking ass, taking names, or an entity or whatever. So, who is on the run for y'all this week?
Well, well,
hmm.
Tito, I'll let you think about it. I can just go ahead and rip mine off real
Go
quick.
for it.
The person that's on the run for me this week is none other than Jalen Brunson, because last night's game, there was no way, there was no way what happened should have happened. But Jalen Brunson and the Knicks, they balled out the second half, came back from an impossible, deficit to win the game, which is insane. So hats off to Jalen Brunson. You on the run for me.
Okay.
For me, I'm gonna go with music. I am a big newfound fan of a band called Body Wash. I mean, they are, I guess, what you would consider like a new metal approach to contemporary and alternative rock. But I mean, I've been listening to some of their songs lately, and I've just been getting mad. I just be like throwing spaghetti at the wall and be like, why even make music? This exists. This exists. Why make music? And I get all mad and have to walk away and come back and be like, all right, let me listen to it
That's how
again.
you know it's good. That's how
I
you know it's good
know.
when you get pissed
I mean,
off.
I'm
You're
not
like,
even
man,
hating. It's not. It's just like it's not hating because sometimes you'd be like, oh man, f them, whatever. I could have done that better. And I'm like, I'm just sitting there going, I, I just need to quit. I just need to quit and start selling ice cream on the side. Just
Not
need to
ice
quit.
cream.
Because like for real, they got this one song that called Eyes that uh, if you ever do you guys get off of with ASMR? There's only certain types of brains actually get off of
sometimes
it.
it depends on what it is.
Yeah, every now and
Dude, I'm
then.
telling you, their song gives me ASMR tingles all over, and I'm like, stop.
Dude, that's
Okay.
why I like unprocessed the band Unprocessed. Every one of their songs just has these little touchy feely notes in them, the way their bass
Yeah,
player
yeah,
plucks,
yeah.
and it's just like, what are you doing to me, bro? Why does it sound like this? Like,
Yes, I
Hmm.
know. There's when it makes my tailbone quiver. First of all,
There it
it's a very
is.
special it's a very special place to be quivering. But secondly, that for
Hmm.
them to have had the power to make it happen, I'm just like, take me out to Red Lobster and be gentle.
okay,
Let me
so
get
body
the
wash.
the cheddar bay biscuits
Body wash
and
is
lay
on the
me
run for
down.
you. Okay. I have to look them up, man.
Yes,
I'll check them out as soon as we get off
do
here.
it. I'll send you some links.
Um,
Nice.
for me, who's on the run for me, I had something else in mind, but I'm be honest with you, I forgot. It's been a hell of a day. Um, but in the theme of basketball, I am going to go with, and I'm gonna keep it a whole band with you. I am not a big fan of Stephen A. Smith. I love it anytime somebody makes fun of him. I'm not a big fan,
Hmm.
but he took on Orange Cheeto Jesus yesterday,
I heard about
twice
that.
on national TV, and he stood up to him. You know what I'm saying? He called him out and said what he said, even though the company that he works for is owned by a guy that's in Cheeto Jesus's pocket. And Stephen A. Smith was like, I'm gonna just call you straight up. You're a bum. We don't want you at the games. You take away from all the games. Why are you here falling asleep? You know what I'm saying? So Stephen A. Smith called him out, and I think that that's a brave thing to do when you are in the entertainment world, especially as like a sportscaster, in media. In today's day and age, you really can lose your job, even though we're supposed to live in a free society where you have freedom of speech. Even for what him saying what he said could ultimately cost him his job, and I have to tip my hat to that because that was brave. You know what I mean? He could have taken a pass on that and been like, "Oh, I'm not going to get into politics," and he went straight into it, like his whole segment. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So he is on the run for me this week.
If I may,
Yeah,
just gonna deviate for a second here. I got a question for you, Tito. It's just a actually it's more than one. It's a couple, and it is about Saint Diablo.
sure. I'm a
Just
textbook expert about Saint Diablo.
I believe you 100%.
He the
Um,
Osiris of this shit.
that's
Well,
what's
I've
up.
I've had to check Wikipedia when we had a Wikipedia page. I've had to check that before because they had
Uh,
some details in there that I was like, "Oh my God, I can't remember, I can't believe that they got that I remembered that." And then somebody did something weird and made our Wikipedia page go away, but it was
wow,
a good
cool.
page. Yeah.
Well, it's cool that you had one for sure. Question. Uh, it's a two-parter. One, when did you form Saint Diablo? And two, what was the motivation behind starting this band and going forward?
Okay, let me get back into my little Wayback Machine. It was it was like beginning of high school. Me and a couple of friends were just me and my best friend Donnie Martinez were in a little rap duo called Hillside Diablos, and um, we were rapping in Spanish when Mellow Man Ace and Cypress Hill were just first breaking the Yo MTV rap thing. That whole thing. So we wanted to come to music in the space of hip hop and rap. And I had very limited opportunities to really grow in that specific direction because keeping it real, the black guys didn't want to fucks with me. And the brown people weren't really even trying to do the limited amount of brown people I had access to and Spotsylvania and Fredericksburg was not even really trying to do anything at all. So, but I still knew that I wanted to do something that was culturally specific to Spanish and all of the whole span of different types of Latino to Hispanic to Spanish, all of it, the whole realm of all of that. And I got with a friend named Kevin Sherman, and we were drama queens. We was all about being in drama class and doing plays and things like that. uh I realized that I really, really, really got off on an audience and a show and a stage and costume, but I really didn't like all of the logistics of having to put on a play. So um my friend Kevin, he had a little blue shed in the back of his house, and he was like, well, why don't we just start a little band so that way we can do our little junk food version of what you get when you're on stage. And we rehearsed for like 2 years straight with no show in mind, but to play the talent show of our graduating year that we were
Nice.
from high school. So we literally practiced for 2 years to play one show.
Right.
but but like as soon as that show was done, we knew we had something special, and I was like, all right, guys, I went to community college for a little while, and Justin was there right there in the beginning of the days. Like he came in, and he's been the only guitarist that we've ever had. So
That's cool. That's super cool.
he's him and I have really been the backbone of this situation when it comes to like keeping it alive. I mean, all of the people that have ever been part of it have had their own special, unique place in it. But when it comes to like the birth of the thing and having to treat it like a child and loving it when you hate it and all that stuff, Justin and I have really been guarding that candle in the wind type thing. But what made me want to do it was all my friends were dying from drug overdoses
Mm,
or getting arrested or going to like military in order to defer from going to jail. Like
Right.
there was only but so many limited directions that I was gonna end up going because I couldn't stand school. I really liked hanging out with all those people that got in trouble, but I needed to be able to offer something to that environment and to be able to be in that environment without having to be stuck in that environment. And I just thought I found music as a real interesting way to visit the people that I really enjoy being with and having equity with them,
hmm
Yeah.
and then but still being able to leave and kind of like go back to like that plan for a future. What's a 401k? All those things,
Right.
Right. Right.
So really music was always a way for me to um reinvent myself socially to make some friends and hang out and have fun, and kind of like it was my way of being social. Um, I make a horrible audience member. I'll go to a show and be like stank faced. I really am. I hate that about me. I hate that about me. And so if I'm not on the stage, I'm all frumpy and pissy.
I get that. I feel that.
It is nothing. It has nothing to do with like with hating, because I'll be watching things that are awesome. When I went to go see Deftones, I'm
Mhm.
like, I love it. I want to go home now. I know they've only played 4 songs, and I know they got like 12 more to go, but I want to go home now. And it's hard to explain because it's like I get emotionally overloaded,
Mm.
or my senses get overwhelmed, and
Mhm.
and I don't know what to do with my hands.
That's fair.
No,
Well,
but
yeah, that's it's interesting to hear people's stories of, their origin as far as how they got involved and what their purpose was to doing a thing, and coming from a place where the acceptance was not to your liking, limited access and limited choice, if you will, and
mhm.
essentially creating something for yourself and your buddies for something for school for one show. Either the dedication. I couldn't fathom
Practicing
rehearsing
for two
for
years.
2 years for
Yeah,
one show, like
yeah.
ever. But to know that in that time you had a camaraderie, you knew you had something special, you did your show, and knew that, hey, this can't be the last thing we do. I
Hmm.
like
Yeah,
there's because when you put that type of time into something, you
that's your
want to do
baby.
something with it. You
That's
want to
your
do
baby.
Hmm.
something more with it. So that's a awesome backstory, awesome reasoning, and everybody's different. So like that's not my story with it, but it's interesting to hear, and I appreciate your willingness to share that. So those are
Oh
my
yeah,
two
absolutely.
two rando
Thank you.
questions.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, speaking of Saint Diablo in the history, and thank you for painting that for our viewers and listeners, man. We have a very, very, very important show for the DMV coming up here on August 21st, the Black Rock show,
Oh yeah.
featuring myself and Javen and Saint Diablo, man. I get to pull double duty that night, so that's going to be wild.
Yeah.
Um, but how are you feeling about that show, man? Is there anything that you want people, especially those listening to the DM from the DMV area, is there anything you want them to know? What are you looking forward to? So on and so forth.
Me personally, I can't tell you how excited I am to finally show off our digs to a room full of melanin. I can't tell you how excited I am to to
And it's gonna be
to
full of melanin.
and
Yeah.
I mean I'm just I'm tickled pink. I really am. Because it's just gonna be so refreshing and so and interpersonally challenging, because I mean I am so used to the experience, the expression, know your audience, know your
Hmm.
room, and I feel like we've been making a specific product that we've been forcing down the mouths of people that were begrudgingly accepting, when there's a whole nother community of people that are more like what I feel and see and think, and it's just, for me, I'm excited. I'm super excited. I think it's going to be such a refreshing feeling, and I can't wait to experience Metal Go Go.
It's
That's
you're gonna get it.
I've seen it. I've seen their videos. I've been hanging. I've been checking them out on Instagram, and like I've been telling my friends about it. So like it's been a while since I've been excited about playing shows, because a lot of times it's hard to get excited about a show that you're playing 3 states away and you don't have friends there, so you got to kind of just do the internet hype about the show. But to think that this is our, in a sense, backyard hometown scenario, and not hometown, but like an extended off the hometown to people that actually have never experienced us.
Yep.
It almost feels like you're traveling far to a different experience, but really we're still right around the block from home. So like even that dynamic, the access to a different audience that probably would not have ventured off the beaten path to check us out, the ability to be uh with feels like a more rebellious, more fun, more energetic audience. I'm just thrilled. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be
Absolutely.
something special because this lineup is different.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's all black and brown artists and bands, but it's also different types of rock. And I didn't that
Hmm.
didn't quite hit me until recently when I was thinking about it. I was like, you know, I got like the southern rock blues rock vibe. You know what I'm saying? Aoxys has like this hard charge, like almost like anime type rock. And no disrespect, I don't want it to be taken that way, but it's just a different type. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? And then obviously you got Saint Diablo, and then you got Hybrid Band, which is like a reggae-esque, you know, rock situation. And then you got Breezy, which is like go-go and emo. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And like punk. And it's just such a crazy eclectic mix of melanated people, you know,
Yeah.
doing their interpretations or variations of rock, and I think that's gonna hit
Yeah,
different. It's gotta
yeah.
hit different, you know, and I don't think it's anything that's forced. Everybody is doing who they naturally are,
Hmm.
and my goal for that event is to document the hell out of it because I know it's
Yeah,
gonna be something special.
yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I hope that it sets a trend and a pattern, and we can reproduce great results in more markets with
That's the goal.
this specific idea in mind. I mean, like I just, and I almost hesitate to talk about it in a sense like it's something new, something, because fucking rock started here. And rock started right where right what you are putting a light on is where rock and metal started.
Yep.
And to visit it from any other angle almost feels disingenuous.
Hmm.
But I but I but I say that and can also appreciate how, if you don't know, then this is an opportunity to find out.
And that's what I'm
Hmm.
pushing. That's what I would like everybody to push for this to all the fans. And, you know, and I also believe too, here's another thing. As Awesome Ray Ray, I've never done a show in my backyard before. I
Hmm.
know that's wild. I know that's wild. And I know a lot of industry folks would be like, you know, how could you possibly? Well, I'll tell you how. I jumped out the gate as a solo artist doing festivals out of town and doing shows out of town. I just kept getting those opportunities. I didn't get opportunities in my hometown as Awesome Ray Ray. You know, that's no disrespect. I don't think I was blackballed or gate kept or anything, but it's just the way that it happened. You know, LA, Texas, and Florida and Pennsylvania and stuff. And this is like my first opportunity to be like, hey, all y'all that's been following me for like my entire life, I'm coming home. Now you don't just get to see it on Instagram and YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Now you get to see it in real life.
Hmm.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? On a hell of a fucking lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll
In
say
a
this,
great room. In a great
right,
room too.
that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And I'll say this about what you were saying, that in your hometown you weren't booked. And like you said, not because of being blackballed or anything like that. Just the cards never fell that way. But this very event is still not someone booking you.
Yeah.
This is
To
an
manifest
opportunity
destiny.
that you
Yeah.
created.
And you got to take that route
Not and
sometimes.
not just, but here's the cool part, not just for Awesome Ray Ray,
Correct.
Hmm.
but for other
Hmm.
acts in the area. I am genuinely excited for the Black Rocks event.
Yeah.
It's I there's something
There's more on the line there. There's way more on the
Yeah,
line, to be honest with you.
I do, and I'm low key getting goosebumps talking about it. I low key feel that this is going to be the launching pad for more for every artist on this bill
Yeah.
in a way that has never been seen before. And like
Yeah.
you said, just to get in front of new eyes, and like what Tito's saying, just to get in front of a newer audience, to get in front of a newer situation, you don't know who's in the room. You don't know
Hmm.
who knows who in the room. You feel what I'm saying? And then it's like, yo, I've been going over here. We done did this over there. We done did this over there. But shit, like a few, little hikes up the road. You know what I'm saying? There was a connect that was solid right around the corner. You feel what I'm saying? That could set up for something humongous. And
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Shout out Crescendo Recording Studio. I was like, I thank you so much.
So
Um,
yo, your Soul Shout Network is the name of the
bruh,
Bose company is the event production people, your Soul Shout Network. So shout out to them
yeah,
for sure
100%.
for taking a chance, because
Could
he
have
could
went
have
with
definitely been
anybody.
like, yo, I'm gonna need stacks on stacks on stacks, because that is a prime room.
And it was insane to be in. So to think to be in this room with like to do an actual show. And then to have things like it's going to be like streamed outside so you can watch it outside. And it's
Yep.
going to, I feel like I said this before. I don't know if it ever made a final cut of a YouTube episode, but I low key feel like it's sinners in a sense of getting together at the old sawmill to do something insane for a night. You feel what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That's going to be memorable. Minus the vampires and the racism. You feel me? Like minus that. I feel that this event is going to start not just the Black Rocks event for that evening, but it will turn into the Black Rocks tour
That's
that
the
will
goal.
turn into something bigger than that. And it'll be something, and it will be on the back of, hey, let's get some folks from around the way who are melanated, black and brown folks, and let's do something together. We put in on it. We do what we need to do. The venue's willing to take a chance, and they down 100 grand. You feel what I'm saying? And if it's like, hey, maybe it's something we can do at the venue, like annually or something like that. That would
Yeah.
be a cool type of situation. So I feel like this is and
I
I'm
mean,
willing to, so they say like I move out west. I'm willing to travel back. Nothing but a plane ride, baby.
I mean,
Fly on over and just get to work.
I look at it like this, right? I'm not sure how much y'all know about Blue Ridge. I know there's controversy about Blue Ridge and whatnot, but I remember when I was a Year the Locust, we played the second annual Blue Ridge Rock Festival, the second one. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I think they started in like 2014.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And when we played that one, it was in a venue. You know what I'm saying? It was like I think it was like a 500 cap room. It was packed wall to wall. Fast forward to the 2 years that we played,
Hmm.
over 100,000 people.
Right.
Multiple states' governors got involved because there were so many people. You know what I'm saying? So it, something like this can absolutely grow. You know what I mean? And that's the goal. And it's not for monetary gain. It's to shed light
Oh, punch
on
a
who
hole in
we
the
are and what
universe.
we do. Huh?
That part.
Punch a hole in the universe and make that suction cup thing happen. So it's like center of gravity.
Yeah,
Singularity.
Boom.
because
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Part of this was birthed out of frustration, to be honest with you, bro. Like I'm not trying to jump on the bandwagon, but I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Live Nation has fucked everything. You know what I'm saying? To make it hard to get into 930 Club, to get hard to get into Atlantis, the Anthem. You know what I'm saying? They don't do shit like that. You got to have some bread or know somebody that does. And I'm like, man, I could keep pounding these doors, or I could say, honestly, old Kid Rock, take a Kid Rock approach. Fuck it, I'm gonna do this shit myself. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes you have to get to that point. You know,
100%. 100%.
like it is what it is. This morning, I made a phone call to somebody that normally never answers the phone. I said, fuck it. And today they answered, and I'll be honest, I got exactly what I wanted.
That's great.
Yeah, I could have fucking cried. I could have cried when
I feel
that
like
phone
you.
answered.
I feel like you was fitting when you called me about it.
I
You
was
feel
like,
me?
hello?
You
Hello?
woke.
I was
You
like,
woke me up.
so you answered. This isn't voicemail. Fuck. I wasn't prepared. What do you want? So, but sometimes you gotta knock down the door, and if you can't do that, fucking build your own building.
Absolutely.
I don't ever
Well, I want
want
to thank
be a
you guys
geek.
so much for letting me hang out with you guys. Much love
Absolutely.
for all the girl dads out there. I got myself a little 2-year-old that's calling for me, and I don't want to let her down.
Aw.
I'll have the rest of my life to do that, but I don't want to do that tonight.
Oh wow!
Well, thank you for coming on, Tito. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
That is the wrap on episode 19 on the
Yep.
Run Podcast. Make sure you like, follow, comment, share, subscribe, all of that stuff, and we will see y'all soon, man. Appreciate y'all. Much love, Javen Shepherd,
Take care.
Tito, Saint Diablo, Awesome Ray Ray. We out here, baby.
Yep.
Much love. Much love.
Now